Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading. And Libra, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not in Libra, we still all have a little bit of Libra in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Libra in, that will tell you where the energy is going to show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Keep in mind, this is a general collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching this now, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I did post this, what was going on back then in your life, that may give you some more clarity regarding your situation now. We have the underlying energy for the reading is the moon. All right, we have a big moon coming up on the 17th of February, and this is going to be posted, this reading, I think, on the 9th. And it's either the 9th or the 10th. Sorry, I didn't really look at the calendar this morning to check what day it was. I know it's Sunday. That's the kind of energy I'm in. I've been having kind of a chill day. So the moon is talking about on February 17th, we are going to be having a new moon, and that new moon will be in the sign of Aquarius, and opposing that will be the Leo energy, so the sun energy opposing the moon energy. And it's also the first day of the Chinese New Year in the year of the fiery horse, and it's also a solar eclipse. So there's going to be a big wallop, and we're starting to feel it already. That's a lot of energy coming in. Oh, hi, Stella. This is my cat, Stella. Her job is to sit on my lap and purr. So she just realized, oh, she's late for work, but she's already putting her time in. She's got happy feet, and the purr is starting. Raise the vibration. All right, so this is the energy from the underlying energy for the internal forces. So the internal forces are the I.F.s. That's when we're saying, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if they do this? What if I do that? That kind of energy. The internal forces you have control over. The internal forces, it's whether you react or respond to the energy coming in from the external forces. And this is talking about, the Lover's card is originally was a card of choice. It is a choice about, like now it's mainly about romantic love. But having said that, it's who you choose and what you choose in your life. And I just did a really interesting daily reading, and it was like really a very different reading. I really enjoyed it, talking about this very thing. So with the Lover's card, this is generally about romantic love, but it could be about something you love to do or be. This is the energy of the cloud between them is representing get to know your partner really well before you make choices, to have them in your life as a permanent fixture, basically. The sun is shining on this. This is talking about a divine partner, that this person could be perfect for you, but you have to get to know each other. That's what the cloud here represents, is the energy of not being able to see each other. It's like right, at eye level, basically. This can also mean you haven't met them yet. You might know them and you haven't met them, or you might have met them, but you don't know them. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. So we do have the Page of Pentacles coming in. So the pages work for the king and queen and the rest of the court. Generally in the old days, and they would be like 7 to 14 years of age, and they would deliver messages basically and do small tasks and errands and be apprenticing for the role of knighthood. If they were, successful and they could afford a horse by the time they were 21, then they might be considered for knighthood. And so this card is all about messages coming in, and each of the pages in the tarot have their own element or message to deliver. So this is the message. This pentacle is, pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness, lifestyle. A big part of lifestyle, of course, when you're on the 3D is money. And so this is energy is talking about money as being one form of that abundance. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So the page is very focused on this energy. Generally, when the page comes in, this is someone that comes from, upper class, well-educated, that kind of energy. So when they come in with a message, it's usually really clear and well thought out. That kind of, and when with regards to money, it generally is a message about a legacy, something like a lot of money, not just a small amount. And we have the Knight of Cups coming in. So the Knight of Cups represents the knight in shining armor that we read about in the romance novels and that kind of energy. This sometimes, and especially with this Lover's card, it looks like someone wants to offer a cup of love. Because it's a knight, it's like it could be someone that you already have, that you're with, and you're taking it. The Knight of Cups is saying, hey, we want to take this relationship to the next level. I want to make the commitment. This is quite often a proposal of marriage or some other form of commitment. And then we have the Nine of Cups coming in. And so this is your energy here. So this could be you who is the Knight of, or you could be the king sending in the Knight of Cups, or you could be the Knight of Cups yourself. And this energy is talking about this is the one cup that you're missing. You have 9 cups already. You're very highly favored. You have the energy here is, this is someone who is possibly a public figure or known to the public. They have 9 cups here. So, and this is on a stage basically, and this person's sitting on the stage, and either these 9 cups are above his head or behind him. It's hard to tell. And so depending, they could, I guess, even be a little bit forward. So this is talking about past, present, future. So take it how it works for you. And this energy is talking about staying in the race. Like this is saying, this is something you wish for, you're highly favored, but you need to maintain your focus, or, you don't want to be distracted at this time. And many race is lost in the last lap. And the body language is saying that this person's feet are facing out, which means the toes facing out, which means he's leaking energy. And also his upper body is closed compared to the lower. So it's kind of like his upper half and his lower half are not in the same energy. He has his arms crossed, but it's not over his heart. So I don't feel like he's got a closed heart or anything. It's more, this almost makes an infinity symbol. So it reminds me of a genie kind of energy. But it's saying, you're wishing for this. This is a wish come true. But you have to stay in the game and put your energy into it and not leak energy into other directions, and then get distracted from where you're going. And we have the King of Cups here. The King of Cups is sitting on his throne. And this represents, of course, okay, this is someone that is a mature person that really is offering like a true cup of love. The King of Cups is the most emotionally available of all the kings because he's able to control his emotions. He's sitting out there in the middle of all this water. This rough water represents volatile emotion. So there could be a lot of chaos around him, a lot of up and down emotions, but he's totally calm and chill. He's got the cup of love in his hand, and he's waiting for the perfect opportunity to deliver it. And so he's not going to get up and do so until he feels that the time is right. And he's very discerning in that ability. This is someone who's really stable and more like a traditional love sort of person. When this person says that he loves you, he will show it through his actions. We have the energy of the Knight in Swords coming in now. So the Knight in Swords could be running from the Lovers and to the King of Cups. This could be an energy of something is up, some information is coming in. So let's see, what is he running to? He's running to the King of Cups directly. It's the first energy. So there's some sort of thought coming in. This is some sort of energy. And it's like, oh, I have a thought, or I have some new information that I have to get to the king as quickly as possible. And I'm in a real hurry. And it's about some sort of illusion about these lovers, or about the lover that maybe he wants to give the cup to. That's the energy I'm feeling. So this knight is in a hurry. Like you can see, look at the difference here between these knights. This one is coming from this energy here, from the internal forces, and this is coming in from information that's out from outside of this energy. So I feel like you are the King of Cups, wanting to offer a cup of love to someone, and this feels like a wish come true for you. But someone's coming in with some information about this lover that might be an illusion, or maybe the impression that he has is an illusion. That's the kind of energy. So the knight, again, the information in the old days, it would be by, delivered by horse and with a knight, but this is probably highly unlikely. So it could be a letter, it could be some sort of paperwork that came in. He could have hired a private eye to investigate this person. That's not uncommon, actually, like a private detective or something like that. There may have been some illusions going around or some talk going around, so he had it checked out. And this is talking about this person is like a fool rushing in kind of energy sometimes, because you can't see the whole sword, so it means they only have part of the information. And it also, there's no point here. So it's like, but he has his sword up and he's ready to wield it, even though he doesn't really have the full story. And so this is trying to get back as quickly as he can, maybe to prevent the offer going through, because he has some new information to impart. And his horse is totally stressed out. This horse, and we have two horses here already, and this is indicating again that energy coming in from the fiery horse energy. So the fiery horse energy is, in matters of love, is very passionate and heartfelt. That's what horses represent, our emotions and heartfelt emotions. In matters of business, etc., like to do with the pentacle, the horse energy represents like setting very high goals and achievements, but sometimes not giving yourself enough time to really pace yourself to get through them. And that's where this energy of like, you need to stay focused and have a rhythm kind of to what you're doing, so that you don't run out, you burn yourself out. Like it's about like trying to do too much in too short a space, and then burning yourself out and not making it to the finish line. And this also is a warning against impulsive energy, like any fool rushing in energy, making sure that you check before you get angry or act upon information, that you really check out, is this real information? And these days you have to be really careful with that, because with all the AI, there's a lot of information coming in that maybe is not 100% accurate. And also, quite often what we'll see in the news, we'll see a whole bunch of information coming in, something that's really, shocking and astounding. And then behind the scenes, quietly, there's what the real energy is about. And so we have to be really careful that we keep our eye on the ball here, and we stay focused, and we understand what's important here and what's not. And we have, it's an Ace of Cups. So this is confirming again, this is an offer of love. And this is divinely guided by source energy, by God and the universe. So this is a gift for staying on the destined path, and talking about, a peaceful, being able to be at peace with someone who is in control of their emotions, doesn't get caught up in the drama, was ready to take action when need be, knows when to sit back, when to move forward. Very emotionally intelligent person here. And so this energy, the Ace of Cups, is like a fountain. It just keeps filling, eternal love kind of. So this is a divinely guided partner that's being shown here. Yet we have this energy coming in to maybe try to stop it. So we don't quite know what that's about yet. We're just going to start here. So we have the self-identity, self-image. We have this energy of abundance and self-worth. So yes, feeling like, okay, this is what I want in my life. I want to have this cup of love. I feel like this energy is saying that this is about lifestyle. So you can, like, as I said, you could have all the money in the world, but you are not necessarily living the lifestyle you want. And this would be a wish come true. So this is something you've wanted since you were young, that you can always remember wanting to find the person that's your true love and marry them and maybe have a family, etc. You've always seen that as being a thing. This is your emotional foundation. And so I just feel like that you're someone who's very steady in these matters and you know what you want. And this is creativity, romance, and children. That's what I feel is what you're wanting. Is you're at that stage in your life where you want to make that commitment and have a family, and and really that would be like that 10th cup for you. It wouldn't be for everyone, but this is talking about that kind of energy. It could. This is too. There's a lot of love in this, so it's probably not about something you love to do or be as much as it is an actual person, but it could be that also. This is talking about, it's a gift from the divine coming in. This is going to change your daily routine and your habits. Well, if you get married and you have children, yeah, you'll notice a difference in your routine, that's for sure. And then we have, okay, external forces. So the external forces here, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is saying that, you have reached a point where you're elevated in your position. The external forces are recognizing that you are someone that really has your ship together, basically. And they want to collaborate with you and they want to work with you. This is saying that you have some sort of skill set that is very valuable, that is not common. So it's a special talent. So this is talking about, again, that we have the public stage here. So it could be talking about being in the performing arts, an actor, an actress, a speaker, that kind of energy. It could be talking about you just got a degree and you were valedictorian and you're in a sport and you're the captain of the team and the scouts are coming out and looking for you. So what this energy is saying is that you're highly elevated at this time. Be careful who you do collaborate with. You're going to have a lot of choice. Remember, I said this card is about choice originally. It's about who you choose to work with, who you choose to be with, who you choose to live with, who you choose to have babies with, basically, like that kind of energy. And so it's saying, be very careful, because when you're in a position like this, and there's stories all over Hollywood about this, of people having to sell their soul to be able to get to the top. And the people that they have working for them or that they're collaborating with didn't really have their best interests at heart. It was more about the interest of the group that they belong to. And quite often there's a lot of secret societies and religions and whatever all over the earth. So this is a secret society card saying that they want to collaborate with you because they know you're really good at what you're doing, and it's going to be lucrative. But they don't necessarily have your best interests or your goals in mind. They have the interests of their group energy in mind. And the Aquarian full moon or new moon coming up is very much about that energy. And the full moon that we just had on the 1st of February, if you want to check that out, you can go to my new moon, full moon playlist. That was in the sign of Leo, which is about being a leader. And the full moon was a Leo full moon. But across the wheel from Leo is the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is more about what are the greater needs of the whole, or what are the needs, which are you going to put first? And Aquarius was saying you have to, we're in the sun, in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is saying you have to look after the world. You have to look after the whole. You have to forget about yourself and your needs. You have to do what's best for the group. And so if you're going to be in a group, you want to make sure that you know what that group is really about, all the way from the top to the bottom and back. And because you do not want to sign your life and sign on the dotted line without understanding what this is going to entail, and making sure that you're being paid what you're worth, and that you have a say in your path, or else it could be it could end up being your worst nightmare. It could end up being like, I don't want to have to stay in this contract, but you have to. And then what was supposed to be joyful and being in this energy being able to perform like a singer or whatever, but having to do their songs they want you to do rather than your own kind of work, that kind of energy. And I feel like in big part, this is what's killing a lot of the creativity on the planet right now, is this energy. It always is about, the money more than it is about, like, if a song was just beautiful on its own, if you couldn't make money from it, then what's the point of it? Well, the point is that it's a beautiful song that people love to hear. That's the point. So it's kind of that kind of energy. We have this card coming in of the Two of Swords, talking about being kind of blindfolded to the entire truth here. So again, it's saying that what about your needs or their needs kind of energy. This has been coming up. I think it's going to be coming up a lot in the next couple weeks kind of energy, just because of that eclipse and all of that energy coming in. And I will be doing a series of readings after this regarding that. I'll dig a little bit deeper into it there. So that'll just be in a few days from now, like maybe 4 or 5 days. And so going into the the Valentine's Day energy on the 14th, this energy is pretty dominant. So let's look at what's going on. So yeah, a lot of the energy here is about from the external forces. So the internal forces are when you're asking, what if I do this and they do that? What if they do this and I, then what do I do? Kind of that kind of the what ifs, the what if, woulda, shoulda, coulda kind of energy. And it can keep you in this energy where you don't move, like you're just stuck there because you can't see, okay, what should I do? What should I do? And then this energy is the Eight of Swords, is saying you've made the wrong decision and now you're in a mental prison and you're trapped. You're duty bound. You signed the contract without fully understanding it. And now this is the energy that you're in. Instead of being in the energy of being in control of your career, you are now having to answer to other people. And so this is about being stuck in that energy. So this is being stuck because you can't see the what ifs. And this is being stuck because of the external forces that you're involved with. We have, the only solution is rowing off to calmer shores with God. And so this is what this card represents. This is this rough water energy. And I feel like this card is really exemplifying this. At some point, I feel there was this much water here. And this is where you're at the point where you're about to get on this boat. And it's saying, even though this is the 6 and this is the 8, it's like, I feel like this energy is, all of this is, these thoughts are behind you. And now you've got this one thought is, I need to get to calmer waters. I want to have this energy with the lilies and and the peaceful dove, and having this true love in my life, and doing and being what I love, and having a life full of what I wished for when I was younger. That's the kind of energy. And the thing is about Libra is Libra is the sign where it's indicating, okay, you're mature enough to have what you want. You're mature enough to make a commitment and truly understand what that is, and be able to, anticipate your future as long as you make the strong steps. So this is, I feel like, the water has dried up. Sometimes I feel like this represents the tears that someone has cried when they feel stuck and duty bound in a situation that they really don't want to have to even look at. And so this energy, and you notice it's following this. So I feel like this is saying, okay, I've made my decision. I'm going to go and ask God what to do. I'm going to go hang out with God for a while. I'm going to calmer waters, getting some peace of mind here. And I'm making my decision that way through meditation and prayer. And that's a really good idea, because at the last thing you want to be doing at this time is getting into impulsive decisions. Like, that's it, I've had it. And you get on the phone and you blah, 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 or you go on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. And then you go, oh, I regret that kind of energy. Then we have the Judgment coming in. And so this card has been coming up a lot. It was just up in the last reading, and it's really talking a lot about what we're seeing on the planet right now. It's being shown to us so clearly. Like, you make choices in your life, and do you want to have a peaceful life that has, a partner in it that you can really trust and be with and enjoy your life and have the freedom to do so? Or do you want to buy into an illusion that keeps you in this trapped energy where you're duty bound to people you don't even really like, like, you're like, what the heck? Why did I sign this? Like, what did that's not, you'll be saying to yourself, that's not what I signed up for, but it is what you signed up for. You just didn't know it at the time. And so this is talking about, this can be generational justice. When, as I said, we only have the one pentacle card here, and the rest is about love and just thoughts about it, basically, like the struggle within of accepting, like, is this something I want to do, kind of energy, is this what I really want? That's the energy, and being kind of caught in that position. But it's kind of a good position. I mean, when you're sitting at 9 cups, that's like a lot of beautiful energy, and you're being offered the cup of love by someone who's really steady. Then these external forces, it could be like two minds could come together and come to a really good solution. And this is also saying the moon is really telling us to use our intuition for sure, and be balanced in our wild, like the coyote and the dog here. This is a domestic dog and a coyote or a wolf, however you look at it, howling at the moon. But it's saying, like, you still don't buy into any illusions, stay on your path, because you don't want to be duty bound to something like that you don't really want. And the ancestors are cheering you on. And this is talking about like this energy that's being exposed right now on the planet. This is coming up like the ancestors are cheering, because it's like Pandora's box has been opened. And that's not a good thing, but these people opened it. And so now we're seeing how ugly it really can be out there. And we have to make choices. Is that how we want to live? Or do we want to, live in peace and happiness and harmony? That's the energy. And we have, don't sell yourself short. Yeah. I mean, look at, you're so highly favored here. So don't take an offer or sign on the dotted line, an offer that's going to keep you small, And this is the energy sometimes of wanting to be in your comfort zone and not feeling like, oh, I don't know if I really want to take this big of a risk, This person seems to be too good to be true, so I have to go and check them out, which is a good idea for me. Like, I mean, if you're, if you're in an energy where you want to get to know them as well as possible. That's what even like this is saying, God is saying, get to know this partner, this person, take your time to get to know them before you make any choices. It's the same with everything we do in life, because judgment will be called eventually. But this is talking about someone walking away from their comfort zone. And instead of just staying in the energy, this is like 3 levels of making money. There's the safe money, which is a strong foundation, and that's okay. Some people are here and they want to play it safe. And then there's going after your heart's desires, rather than, that could represent taking on a different career that's outside of the box kind of energy. And, if you become really talented as a musician and you can actually get a record deal, or you're an actor, an actress that can get, a top role in the movies in Hollywood, you're like, there's not that many of them out there. And so, it's talking about, that's about going for your heart's desires and even your crowning glory kind of energy. Taking calculated risks to really receive the ultimate that you can in life. That's what we're here for. And then this card is talking about walking away. I feel like this is talking about having the discernment to be able to walk away from something that does not suit you. So this is talking about putting a lot of energy into something and really loving it, but you walk away from it because you recognize this is not what I want. And you see that, like, some people are at the top of their game as actors or actresses in Hollywood, and all of a sudden you hear that they're not doing movies anymore, even though they could be paid millions to do it, and they've moved their family to a quieter place. They just don't want to be in that energy anymore. And so you hear about that sometimes, and then sometimes you hear about people who have stayed in it and they're being driven out anyway because They're no longer, they're so messed up from the lifestyle that they're living in that they aren't able to produce at the high rate that they used to. This card can also represent having the 8 cups and then walking away to get the other 2. And I feel like that could represent this energy of bringing someone else into your life so that you can have the 10th cup here. You know, that kind of energy. And that's a matter between you and the other person. It's almost like I want to be a couple and I have me, but I need another one, which is how this card can be read. And this could be the person, so this is external forces. This could be the person going through this mental battle about, you know, they've been hurt in the past and they're like, is this really a true offer? And should I take this offer? Is this in alignment with my goals? And it's good. Take your time to do that if you need to. And this is like, then in that case, not walking away from what you already have. It's about lining it up and putting it in a safe place so that you can go out there and find out now, okay, I'm looking for this other part, the other 2 cups that will complete my energy. So that's really good energy. This is a really good reading, Libra. I really like it. I'm demonstrating like how to be a mature adult. Like that's what that is, having the scales of justice, the balance, you know, between what you want and what others want, whether you're a leader or a follower, that kind of energy. How are you going to handle this energy? Really, really mature energy. And that's what Libra is all about. Really good energy. So we're going to like and comment if you've enjoyed it so far. I'm going to clarify now with my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, and that's TAILS. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. I started this Oracle back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed the 64th painting. I'm an artist, so I had a lot of fun doing it. I've had the cards out and about in the past when I was doing seminars, and I was at a lot of psychic fairs, and just introducing the cards, and how it was a lot of fun playing with them, but I didn't have the full deck by then. And so I now all the paintings are done. Now I'm working on the book that goes along with it. And I have a lot written up, but I want to actually see how does this deck work when it's in use, you know? That's the best way to write the information up. So I do appreciate your time and energy in that. And we're going to clarify with this in the description box below. There's numbers on these cards, and those numbers represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery on my webpage, on my website. And so you can check it out if you're interested. Okay, so what else can we learn about Libra energy here? This is a really awesome common sense, man. I like this. It's nice to have some common sense again. Okay, here we have a whole bunch of cards wanting to come out. So we have the transition, death card coming on the illusions. So basically this is saying that before, like, you know, even this energy coming in, like if someone's coming in with energy, information about someone that you already have gotten to know, and they have a bunch of gossip or whatever, something they found out something, but they only have half the story kind of energy, and then you say, oh my God, like this could be a really good friend of yours. And then they come in and they say this about the person that you're thinking about handing a cup of love of marriage to. And you just take their word for it and say, well, that's it, I'm not marrying them. Then, you know, it's kind of, you're not really in love. Like that, like it's that kind of energy. Like if you actually believe gossip about the person that you're with without checking it out thoroughly, or that you're considering being in a relationship with, you know, sometimes like the kings are very highly desirable and there's only one person that can marry them at a time, usually, unless you're into polygamy. And, you know, that's a whole different reading. So, or maybe it's not, like, I'm not sure. Could be. I'm not going to judge that. The Hierophant will come in and judge it for you. Because the Hierophant is talking about traditional structure, and maybe you're not into traditional structure, and that's okay so long as both people are in agreement with it, though. and that it's like on the table kind of energy. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But we're talking about this energy of traditional. This is where this is being made clear right here. We're talking about a traditional marriage, like, you know, that's what the Hierophant is. It's traditional structure and a blessing coming in from traditional structure. So this is, the Hierophant is someone that would be legally allowed to marry people, you know, that kind of energy. Someone, it's talking about, you know, the traditional structure of relationships. And then we have a few major accomplices coming in. So yes, there could be a scotoma, of course. And so scotomas are blind spots. We all have them in our eyes, little spots where maybe it's not 100%, but you can't really tell if you can see the big picture clearly. So the scotomas are like something you can't see and everybody else is telling you, and they can see it, but you can't. And that might be about someone that you're about to propose to. And it could also be something you see about them that no one else can, that kind of energy. Then something that everybody can see and something that no one can see. And so that the one that can see in that case would only be God, that would know whether this is your divine partner or not. So I guess if you don't have the faith in yourself, and like, you know, there's lots of reasons why that could be. You know, opening your heart up and being vulnerable to love is a big choice. And so God is the only one that can really truly see. So if you don't have faith in yourself being able to do that, you can have faith in God, you know, if that's something that you believe in. And I'm not necessarily talking about the, some people feel spirituality is about religion and religion is about spirituality. And if you don't feel that way, but you have a connection to source energy, to God, through just your day-to-day activity, that you just are always talking to God, it's like, hey, he's your buddy, you know, kind of energy that you look up to, though. And that's the kind of energy, like, it doesn't have to be traditional structure is what it's saying, but it's got to be, you know, you have to make sure you look into it, but you have to also look into it properly kind of energy. And also it's not just about the logical, and also recognizing that this person doesn't even have the full story. So they're rushing in with half the story. And so this is talking about mother's worry. So maybe your mother's worried about you and your choice. And so that's something, you know, we always want to take our ancestors' information in and digest it and then decide what we're going to do with it. But at the same time, you know, you're not marrying your mother. You're marrying, hopefully you're not marrying your mother. But I feel like this is also talking about the energy on the earth right now. This card's coming in a lot, and it's talking about, you know, a lot of people call the earth Mother Earth, and a lot of people are concerned with the way the earth is going right now, and like, oh, it seems like it's so chaotic. But in actual fact, there are times on earth where it's very chaotic, and then it contracts and it comes back into orderliness. So that's the energy there. And then we have the Empress on this. So the Empress is all four queens rolled into one. So this is an energy of really being able to attract what you really want. And this is the energy that you're in. So this is like, you know, you're, this is how you're feeling right now, that this is what you want. The star energy. So this is talking about, I feel like it's kind of a different energy, because we're all born to be, to shine in our own way. But there's certain people that definitely, you know, have certain talents that really stick out, and you can call them a star. They're a star of, you know, a star singer, a star actor. They really stand out from the crowd. They're at the top. And that energy is very different from the average person, what they would want in a relationship at times. Like, it can be a different mindset, basically. And so keeping that in mind also. The solar plexus, having the courage to look at things and really digest the information and then make strong choices based on that. We have the use your third eye, as well as your, you know, what the logical information is. That's what this is saying. Use your insight. And that's what sometimes this card can represent someone. There's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. So people may think that they have the full information, but they don't. We can only actually see about 4% or 5% of what's really there in the full spectrum of light. So just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's that kind of energy. And but our intuition will lead us to seeing some of the information that we can't see with our naked eye. So it's about using that logic and your intuition to make decisions. Yes, and then it's talking again about that making strong choices. The high priestess, sits on the throne next to God, and she's in between extremes, but she uses her intuition. She's very intuitive and uses her intuition and the cycles of the moon, knowing that at the full moon it's a good time to release and get out of your own way, basically, to receive the energy that, to be able to move forward, and then on the new moon being able to implement these new concepts you have, or this idea, or what you want to manifest. And then we have, if you don't see the full picture and you have expectations based on what you can see, and just because you can't see it, saying, well, then it doesn't exist and I'm not even going to look at it. This is foolish, you're on a foolish journey at that point, because just because you can't see it. It's like saying, someone says, oh, you have to meet Frances. She's on, when she lives in France and you live in North America. And I'd really like for you to meet her. I think you'd really get along with her really well. And you're like, I don't see Frances. I've never met Frances. Frances doesn't exist. And you're like, yeah, she does. She lives in France. Well, I've never been to France. I don't know what France is about. Why would I want someone from France? That's the kind of energy, right? And so it's like missing out on a lot of opportunities due to lack of awareness. So also dissension is coming in. So this can be talking about being confused by the friends and the people around us. And it's saying, like, with friends like this, who needs enemies? But sometimes friends they don't even understand their true intentions. That's why there's the saying, the road to hell, if it's paved with good intentions. Your friend might have good intentions coming in to tell you this, but then after you say, oh, okay, I guess, like, I've known you my whole life, and I trust that if you're saying this, that it must be accurate, and not checking into it. And then you find out that your friend was totally freaking wrong and you just turned down the best thing in your life. And now your friend is off with their new lover that they met at the same time, but they married them, even though they had imperfections. It's that kind of energy. So we have the superstar energy, and this is talking about the difference from 2026. We're definitely like 2026, we're only a month in, basically, in a bit. And it's been a pretty interesting year so far already. And we haven't even entered I always feel like that the Chinese New Year is more accurately than the New Year, because the energy is based on the cycles of the lunar calendar. And the energy of the Gregorian calendar, which is what we follow for the New Year in North America, is very much, it's based on that calendar. And every 4 years we have to put an extra day in there because the math doesn't work out, kind of energy. It's sort of like a fudged equation, basically. Oh, we'll just throw, I don't know. It's like putting a little extra something into the equation to make it work. And then we have dissemination of information. Yeah, it's about, judgment being called on when people get into a place where, they really believe they know everything. The one thing that if you are really searching and doing a lot of knowledge seeking, the one thing that you are going to discover is the more you know, the less you know. That's when you realize, wow, I don't know shift. I thought I knew a lot, and I'm learning so many new things, and it's fun to learn new things, and it empowers you to stay in a place where you can open your mind. The hermit energy is, if you don't know what to do, go inward and meditate and pray. The hermit goes all the way to the top of the mountain and sits there and isolates himself so that they're not listening to a bunch of chatter from the people and the energy around them, and they just want to go inward and like really check in with yourself. Is this like how I really feel? Do I want to be with this person? Am I aware? Have I looked into it? Is there something I'm missing? Do I need to look at something? And really look at your own needs and how you're handling it. And then when the hermit has the lantern full with the North Star energy, and the North Star energy is like on the, it's the star where we are like you're enlightened, from your path, the path that you were destined to be on. That energy comes in, then the hermit's rod turns golden, and he knows, okay, it's time to take action now that I've really looked at it and I'm satisfied that I have looked into this as much as I can, and I have made my decision and I'm going to act upon it. And then again, it's saying falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So this is all about opening your heart chakra, possibly after being bound up, like not feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can trust my heart anymore, because you've had disappointments in love in the past, and just making you wonder if you can trust your own judgment. So what this is saying is you need to, like, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So falling in love is one thing. But, you know, being in love and staying in love is another. If, you know, the first while it's very exciting, but if you want it to maintain, then you have to put some of your energy into it. That's that kind of energy. And no one can love, like if you only love yourself up to a certain point and you're not willing to open your heart up to having even more, like getting that last cup, like really going for it, going after your heart desires, not selling yourself short, taking the risk after it being a calculated risk, of course, but making sure you're in alignment with what you're going with, then, hey, then you've done your best and that's all you can do. So you may as well go for it then at that point. If you feel like this is the right choice for you, it's your choice. You're the one that's going to be living with this person, right? So yeah, really, really beneficial information from a mature adult. Thank you, Libra. Do like and comment if you've enjoyed this, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I will be back, Libra. I'm going to be doing another reading for the new moon coming up right after I finish these ones for all the signs. And that full moon that we just had is on that same playlist that will be on. And if you want to know more about information regarding the energy of the fiery horse energy, there is another playlist with Valentine's Day readings, and as well as moving into the new year and the year of the horse. All right, bye for now.